Where were we? Our next underrated Christmas movie is a little dark comedy called Pottersville.
Hey, Park, you mind doing me a favor? Would you mind closing up tonight, running to the bank? I just want to surprise Connie, you know?
Pottersville is about a very, very nice man played by Michael Shannon, whose life and town simultaneously fall apart. One night, he drunkenly puts on a Bigfoot costume and runs through town. Suddenly, and I swear to God this is true, the Christmas spirit starts coming back.
I'm here with the local townsfolk who claim
to have witnessed what they're calling, well, a Bigfoot sighting.
Okay, so this is another one of these movies with just a great ensemble, a hell of a cast. Everybody's great. They all play their parts perfectly. Thomas Lennon steals the show. He's absolutely hilarious. And Michael Shannon is just a wonderful, wonderful leading man in this role. He plays against his own type. He's not very intense or brooding or villainous or, shouting at the top of the heavens like, I will find him! He's gentle and kind. Ron Perlman is somehow adorable. I mean, you turn Hellboy adorable and Michael Shannon into an everyman. Kind of a unique movie. That's just our characters. Then the actual setup to this movie happens. I'll just say this. I've never seen a Christmas movie involving furries. Until now.
So instead of talking to me about it, somewhere in your brain, the thing that makes sense is to go out and have sex with a squirrel.
I'm a wolf.
Feels like a little harsh indie drama. That also happens to be a cartoonish dark comedy. Sound effects, and especially the soundtrack. I mean, they must have taken notes from The Simpsons. It's a very strange tone to have a dark indie comedy mixed with like a Warner Brothers cartoon. Even the locations, this small town that the movie is set in, feels timeless. It feels like it was the same town from It's a Wonderful Life, which more comparisons will come up later. But as the plot progresses, you realize this is almost like an anti-Santa Claus tale. Like where belief and innocence is for suckers, and it's all selfish, and you're played for fools. The interesting part is, Christmas spirit and the town seems to be reinvigorating because of it. I think I mentioned Thomas Lennon before, but he just, as soon as he takes the screen and enters into this movie, you just start laughing. He has the most racist, over-the-top Australian Kiwi accent I've ever heard in my life.
Jack, you're not making sense. I gotta film this for my show.
It's like Finding Bigfoot meets Groundhog Day / Christmas Vacation. One big stumble the movie takes is the ending. It's a little messy and emotionally all over the place. I mean, they want to be a mini It's a Wonderful Life, but the movie never really does anything to earn that ending. If you want that ending, you gotta drop the dark. And they never do, which is fine. It's not like it ruins the movie. It's just a little odd ending. That's all. It's a Christmas movie that has heart and leaves you with a smile. And again, it's about Bigfoot and furries. O Tannenbaum, hark the herald angels sing, deck the halls, 'tis the season, furries.
I want to be a fuzzy little Joey.
Our next movie is a hell of a movie. It's Black Christmas. The plot of Black Christmas is about a group of sorority sisters over winter break who start receiving disgusting, scary, awful phone calls. And at first they play around. They test the waters. But very quickly, their Christmas becomes a nightmare. I'd never really heard of the movie before, except for the horrible remake from the 2000s and the horrible remake from like last year. So I wasn't expecting much, to be honest. A random slasher from the 70s. Okay. It's a Halloween clone, right? Over Christmas. Sure, whatever. I have never been so wrong. This movie outdid itself, and it's on the shelf now. I bought it immediately because it was that good. This is a setup. Simple. Seen it a million times. You've seen it much worse a million times. What you don't realize is that this is essentially the blueprint for everything that came after, and including Halloween in a lot of ways. This is one of the scariest, most visceral movies I've ever seen. It is up there in the creepy factor.
A high school girl's been murdered. Mr. Harrison's daughter is missing. And now at the house where she lives, the other girls are getting obscene phone calls.
Yeah, what I've done is I've tapped this phone so that when it rings, it'll ring at the station house, too.
But even the smallest thing in this movie evokes unease and awful feelings. There's no Gremlins comedy. There's no snarky, witty banter. This is a straight-up horror movie.
There was a little girl murdered over in the park tonight. Yes, I heard.
No fantasy. No magic. This is stark, it's real, and it's scary as hell. It's a slower paced burn, but it's no less effective. And it really is ahead of its time. They're doing things in this movie cinematically that other directors years later would make famous. It's the little slasher movie that outdid itself and kind of quietly paved the way. It is fantastically creepy and unnerving. And between the director and his visuals and the actor and his performance, the way this villain comes to life, you're not going to forget some of these images. Honestly, some of them are still burned into my brain. And I watched this in my 30s. It's not like it fucked me up as a kid. It was genuinely scary. Yeah, this ain't It's a Wonderful Life. If you're sick of feeling holly jolly, put in Black Christmas. It'll change that mood up real quick.
Whoever it is should be stopped. God, Jess, I haven't had a minute's sleep around here. There's been so much noise in the house. What the hell was all that yelling about?
There are many times when I watch a movie I've never really heard of, and I'm given a chance to, that you go, yep, that was as good as I thought it was going to be. This one knocked me on my ass. Can't say enough about how good it is and how much it impressed me. It's definitely worth it. The elf on the shelf will be covering its eyes, I'll put it that way.
Candlelight glistening off of shimmering Christmas trees, chestnuts roasting over open fires, carolers beneath snow-covered window ledges. Remember those. Remember them well. After Black Christmas, they'll never be the same again.
Our next movie is All Is Bright.
Hey, Dennis. Finally escaped?
Paroled. You got a light? Got a smoke?
The plot of All Is Bright is about Paul Giamatti's character, who has recently gotten out of the joint, trying to put his life together, and joins Paul Rudd in a month-long trip to New York, selling Christmas trees in the city.
I need a job.
Sir, good luck.
What?
Terrible economy.
So, what am I supposed to do?
You need to stop being so negative.
Let me see her, at least. Why?
Right away, you're hit with this wonderful aesthetic, this grainy film look. I don't know if it was shot on film or if that was after the fact, but it really helps with the down-to-earth, true-to-life nature of the film. This one has the kind of dour, depressed, Christmassy vibe, where maybe you're doing what you can, but not everything is so holly jolly. You know, it's a dour, desaturated look. And the comedy plays really well. It's a very funny movie.
Hey! Ho! 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 Hey! Ah! Trees! That's terrible.
Most of the comedy comes from this schlubby, depressed character and his situation playing against the cheery brightness of the season and the music. And the dichotomy of that is really, really funny. And of course, you have Paul Rudd and Paul Giamatti in the two lead roles. So who's stealing scenes from who here? Their chemistry's off the charts, and they play each role perfectly. The wonderfully vibrant Sally Hawkins is in this as well. Her, illuminous personality, again, plays well with Giamatti. And you get a lot of wonderful comedy out of these two as well. They're imperfect characters. They're not really good. They're not really bad. They're just like you and me. And they've made mistakes. And their experiences shape their ideas. And you can't help but root for them. Everything from the tone and the cinematography, it's all very personal, very down to earth, very real, very documentary, it feels. And you even get a patented Paul Giamatti freakout. I mean, what's not to love?
Season's greetings.
And, it's more of a depressed Christmas movie, but really it's about accepting your own failures and shortcomings as a person and working on them no matter what, and always trying to become better and be a better person. This story plays with that idea because sometimes life doesn't always hand you the nice guy route. So, yeah, it's an interesting character study.
She's practicing. The only time she sees a real piano is in a church basement.
We're stealing this.
You brought me here to steal a piano.
Merry Christmas.
It's a great little indie film, and it's a different mood. Trust me when I say stick with it. Yes, it's dour. Yes, it's depressing. But that ending, yeah.
Hello? Like to buy a Christmas tree?
What kind?
One that doesn't look like it was bought by a blind guy?
Your parole officer called here.
Oh, really? Did you tell him I was dead?
Our next movie is a special little animated film called Rise of the Guardians.
I've been around for a long time. My name is Jack Frost. I love being on my own.
The plot of Rise of the Guardians is about Jack Frost and his journey to find a place where he belongs.
Hello, mate. Been a long time. Blizzard of 68, I believe.
And he may just belong among the other Guardians. The Easter Bunny, Tooth Fairy, Sandman, and of course Santa Claus.
Oh, good. That was my idea.
Visually, it's wonderful. This has some of the most hyper photorealistic backgrounds I've seen to this day. Still, wow. The weather effects are another high point of this thing. The animation style is definitely, that DreamWorks Pixar style. So it's kind of been done, but the technical prowess of it is an incredibly beautiful animated film. It's got a great voice cast. I mean, Hugh Jackman and Alec Baldwin as the Easter Bunny and Santa, respectively, are just great. Jude Law plays a hell of a villain. God, is he evil. and snake-like.
At what we can do. What goes together better than cold and dark?
But Jack Frost, played by Chris Pine, is just, he's perfect. Exploring the themes of this movie through him really helps sell the whole entire story. He is wonderful as our lead. And you know, truth be told, it's not exactly a Christmas movie, but it's about belief, not only believing in yourself, but believing in things that are bigger than you. It's got plenty of cute stuff, but really, it's a deep dive into who you are on the inside. The character development of this movie deals with finding the center, deep down, who you are. So like Santa's, you know, on the inside, he is a child. He can see the magic. And despite the gift giving, you know, and in this movie, Santa has badass tattoos and 2 swords. Despite the badassery, he's still that inner child. And it's how those traits can keep you as a person from fear and doubt. It's quite a heady, you know, fulfilling story for both kids and adults. I mean, it doesn't make you as an adult feel dumb, and it's not way over kids' heads. You know, it's definitely got the early 2010s Marvel aesthetic. You know, this is essentially Holiday Avengers Assemble. You'd think it would bog it down, or it would be, you know, too many explosions, it's too loud. No, it takes just enough from that superhero genre to make this an interesting holiday-fueled movie. I can't call it a Christmas movie per se, but trust me, it's a beautiful movie about belief, and it does fit in with the season. It's a surprisingly charismatic, cute, and emotional story.
Am I on the naughty list?
Naughty list? You hold the record.
All right, our next movie. Are you ready for this? Oh, I don't think you are. It's Silent Night, Deadly Night, Part 2.
The nightmare began with Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Need a ride, Santa Claus? Well, no, not exactly.
But it isn't over yet. In fact, the ultimate nightmare is about to begin all over again. Silent Night, Deadly Night, Part 2.
The plot of Silent Night, Deadly Night, Part 2 is the same exact plot as Silent Night, Deadly Night, Part 1. Only this time, our villain is in a psych ward recounting the acts from the first movie, which was a murder spree by a person in a Santa outfit. To the best of my ability, that is what I'm remembering from the plot. And I'm not going to be rude and look at my phone, okay? I'm not going to do that. Okay, not even Google knows what the hell this movie's about.
All Ricky ever wanted was a little kindness.
Very naughty.
And all he ever got was pain.
She was naughty.
It's a weird movie, because literally it is just the first movie. And I'm not saying they recreate it. They literally just use the first movie footage in the second movie. This movie starts with our lead, who is actually our villain, I believe. Yes. He's in a psych ward and he's talking to a therapist. And through this talk, we recount all of his sordid, horrible, awful life, why he went on a murder spree. I don't know. Why am I talking about the plot of this movie?
Santa Claus.
There's no explanation needed. Here's why it's on the list. It is a schlock masterpiece.
Oh, there you are.
Before I even knew what schlock was, I knew what Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2 was. For one reason and one reason only.
Garbage day! Huh? No!
That short clip I watched so many times. A buddy of mine showed me it, and it changed my life. So with that clip forever in my mind, I finally sat down and watched it. And boy, was it everything I hoped it would be. It made me feel like a crazy person. It has some of the most entertaining kills you'll ever see. It is one of the best, so bad it's good kind of movies. So, can I tell you what's cinematically beautiful about it? No, nothing. Is there great acting? No. Is the script good? No. Half the movie is the prior film. How's the cinematography? Garbage day.
Garbage day!
This is one of the worst lead performances you'll ever see. And in turn, one of the best performances you will ever see.
Santa's back.
He is so inept at delivering lines. It is almost genius.
Really? Well, maybe we're just jerking off here then. Huh?
He is on the struggle bus when it comes to the performance, but that's what makes it so engaging. He's so confident. He's so, like, gung-ho.
Oh, good. I love a chase.
It's a wonder nobody stopped him and said, hey, dude, like, you know, maybe you could not do what you're doing.
Do you dream, Ricky? I don't sleep.
And then one of his catchphrases is,
Naughty this!
sorry, I'm picturing it in my head.
Oh, I forgot.
And it's one of the best schlock lead performances I've ever seen. I mean, what else to say about this? 'Tis the season to watch people get axed to death. So yeah, it deserves to be on this list, but for all the wrong reasons. It is a failure. It is a piece of shit. It is so bad. It's brilliant. So are you going to get Christmas spirit from this movie? No. Are you going to get Christmas confused from this movie? Yes. Yes, you are. Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2 comes down the chimney with a red sack full of crazy and beats you over the head with it till you're dead. Merry Christmas.
What did you say this movie was about?
Oh, it's great. It's about this guy who dresses up like Santa Claus and kills people.
What?
And now our final movie, our partridge in a pear tree, The Family Man.
Jack Campbell thought he had everything.
Merry Christmas.
I'm giving everything I've got to this deal.
You're a credit to capitalism, Jack.
The plot of The Family Man is about Nicolas Cage, a rich workaholic who just pretty much cares about success and money. Until one fateful snowy night, he does one simple good deed.
What?
Him? Me.
Gave him a glimpse
What do you need, Jack?
I got everything I need.
Yeah? You just remember that you brought this on yourself.
at what his life could have been.
This is a very, very special movie to me. This is another film that was in the Peach household, and every Christmas we brought it out. And I had never really seen another family ever watch it. As a matter of fact, still, I've only heard like one or two other people actually sit down and enjoy this movie. And I don't get it. It is brilliant.
Come on, Dad, get up. It's Christmas. It's Christmas.
Jack. Strong coffee.
Where's my Ferrari?
You got a Ferrari?
Just tell me what's happening to me.
This is a glimpse.
A glimpse of what?
This is a movie about coming to terms with who you are and what you really want. It's about second chances. It's about waking up and going, I can be better. There's a little bit of It's a Wonderful Life and a little bit of A Christmas Carol.
This is bananas. This man thinks I need to be saved, yo!
Everybody needs something.
Yeah? Well, what do you need, Jack?
I gotta be honest, I hate the director of this movie. The man who directed this is Brett Ratner, and he is awful. I've never seen another movie of his that I've really, really enjoyed. Rush Hour notwithstanding. I mean, that's Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan. This is so out of his normal well that it almost feels like someone else is directing it. It's a beautiful film. I don't know where he got this empathy and emotion. And I think it's his best movie he's ever made.
Oh, whoops. I fell down.
I knew you'd come back.
It is a wonderful script that obviously borrows from other Christmassy seasonal classics, but it makes it its own. The cast is wonderful. Again, Nicolas Cage stars in this. Come on. This is a Christmas romantic comedy drama. You know, Nicolas Cage is like the last actor you would think of for a role like this. And he's absolutely brilliant.
Okay, after all, you brought this on yourself.
Brought what on myself? I didn't do anything.
I got everything I need. That sound familiar?
You mean because you thought I was cocky? I'm now on a permanent acid trip!
You know, he has enough Nicolas Cage crazy to really make this character funny, but he is honestly endearing and relatable. Nicolas Cage does not play relatable very well. He plays weird, quirky, insane, over the top, and intense really well. Relatable? It's a rare performance when I can use that word to describe Nicolas Cage, but he is. Téa Leoni just is such a natural in this role, and she really makes it feel like they've been married for years, and it's wonderful, their chemistry.
I'm sorry, it's too important to me.
Ta-da!
Yeah, I can't speak enough about how great it is. It's hard to take a classic like It's a Wonderful Life and, you know, to a lesser extent, A Christmas Carol, put your own personal spin on them and make them feel A, real, and B, original. It feels like a story you haven't really been told before. And I love that about this movie. I love that. It wears its inspirations on its sleeve, but it comes out its own special thing.
And this is very strange because this isn't my house. Those aren't my kids. I'm not Dad.
And somehow Brett Ratner must have been praying to the directing gods because he really gets some beautiful imagery and emotional weight out of this movie. It's a very beautiful film. And it's one of my favorite watches. You know, is it perfect? No. It can be a little distracted with comedy here and there, but it always finds its center, and it always comes back to that question. What if?
We have a house in Jersey. We have 2 kids, Annie and Josh. Annie's not much of a violin player, but she tries real hard.
And it's just a movie that leaves you hopeful. And what better time of the year than now for a nice wonderful moral blanket like that.
Don't you see? I'm talking about us finally having a life that other people envy.
Oh, Jack. They already do envy us.
And there you go, everybody. 12 days, 12 Christmas movies you may have never heard of, but I sincerely hope you check out. I mean, come on. Throw one of them on in between showings of A Christmas Story, for God's sake. Like the video, share the video, and this is the most important one, of course. Subscribe to the channel for movie reviews and much, 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 much more. Oh, guys, please remember, for me, let's show 2020 how it's done. Be the jolliest you can be. Deck all the halls. And please, have the absolute merriest Christmas from me to you. Thank you, guys. Have a great one.